your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door. It's the Richard Wilmore Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Wilmore.
And now here's Richard.
Good morning.
Good morning, Richard.
Hi, Keisha. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I literally wouldn't really be here without you. I can't even begin to tell you what today means to me. And you are the KP behind KP Media. Tell everybody what that is.
Yes, so KP Media TV, and you're right, Richard, the KP, my first and last name, Keisha Puckett, Media TV, we are a premier streaming TV network. So we are literally everywhere you can be in the streaming TV space, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the list goes on, as well as all the digital media outlets as well. So you're on TV.
That's it. Starting today, the Richard Wilmore Show, after 5 years, is on TV. Yes! It's an audience.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And thank you for bringing the show onto KP Media. How can people find the show?
Absolutely. So there's several ways you can find the show. If you have any of the streaming devices that I mentioned, it's always amazing to have the full-on TV experience. If you have Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV, those are the main media platforms. You'll just literally, like you would do for Netflix or Hulu, search KP Media TV, and you will find the Richard Wilmore Show on there under live broadcast every Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I know that's 10 a.m. Central Standard for you, Richard.
Yes, I am not getting up that early.
Yeah, I know. And I'm on Pacific Standard. So
Yes.
The other place you can find him, though, if you don't have any of the streaming access or streaming devices, there is also a web app version of the network. So if you go to watch.kpmedia.tv, you will also find him there. Just check out KP Media TV Live, and he'll be live there every Monday.
Live. That has been a goal literally since I was 10 years old, to have a live morning talk show. And today, I mean, I've been doing it, but today it's like almost real. So the words cannot even describe. What made you decide to start KP Media?
Well, you know what? I have been in the marketing and branding industry for 20 plus years. I've built several businesses from the ground up. I've literally been an entrepreneur since 19, that long.
Wow.
And so what I found over the years in that space is a lot of content creators, talent, all these amazing, incredible people that are doing things on social media, and then that also are in traditional TV already that don't necessarily know how to leverage it for their personal brand. I found that they were really missing a huge piece in all of this. And really, it was about that visibility, monetization, and really building a legacy-driven business that has long-term success. And so because I had such a background in marketing, branding, and business development, I wanted to do this because I absolutely love content creators. I'm a creator myself. And I decided to launch it. And so it's been super successful ever since and growing like leaps and bounds. And I'm just really excited to be able to do this. Yeah.
What types of shows do we have on KP Media so far?
So far, most of our shows are falling within like the lifestyle category. We have everything dealing with lifestyle, whether it's food and cooking, whether it's health and wellness. We have spiritual shows, we have manifestation shows, money shows, business, empowerment. So a little bit of everything we have. We also have a couple independent films as well and trailers that will that very soon will be films that are coming out later this year. So a little bit of everything we have. Yeah.
I love it. Do you have any advice for me as a newbie?
You're already doing it. I'm loving all this amazing everything you have going on, Richard. You're like totally primed for being on TV. Let me just tell you.
I started in my bedroom in 1997, and it's been everywhere, and I'm having a great time, even though there are cats here right now. We've been everywhere, so it's going to be a really fun journey, and I thank you so much for letting me join.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm really excited to see what you do. And I feel like you just never know like how things are going to evolve. And I feel like all that you've done in all of those years has prepared you for this moment. And so as a newbie in the space, I feel like those first initial steps you're already taking. You're already doing incredibly well. And we're going to be supporting you along the way. So you don't even have to worry about that part.
Well, thank you. Let's go make some good television, shall we?
Yes.
All right. Keisha Puckett, everyone. Thank you, Keisha.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, she's adorable. I love her. Is she my boss now? I'm not quite sure. Can she fire me? We'll soon find out. So I just want you all to know that it's just me running this whole darn thing. So there are bound to be some missteps. There are going to be some cats because we're currently filming in my apartment. But we will soon, starting next month, be moving to a studio that will have a studio audience. So we'll get to have people come in and you can come watch the show and it'll be a lot more interactive and fun. But we're going to make as much fun as we can here in my living room. All right, I love to start every day off with music. I don't know about you guys, but I get really excited when we can have live music on the show. And we get to start it off today with my friend Liz Garcia. I'm going to bring her out right now. Hi, Liz.
Hi, thank you for having me on your show. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh, thank you for coming back. And thank you. I love your whole, there's such a vibe with you right now with the black background. I love it.
Thank you.
What are you going to be?
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my gosh,
I'm sorry?
so glad you're here. What are we going to be starting us off with? What song will you be singing for us today?
Well, I'm going to start the show with this more of a slower song. It's one of the songs that it's really doing really good out there. I hope you guys do like it. It's my original Se Está Muriendo Mi Corazón.
All right. Liz is going to perform and then we'll come back and talk to her. Take it away, Liz.
Awesome. Thank you.
Se está muriendo mi corazón. Uno de ellos necesito. Haces de ser mi presente. suerte es que un día lo pagará. Mientras tanto no sabrás, se está muriendo mi corazón. Y tú no lo has notado. Quiero saber si me quieres para poder comprenderte. Ya no me hagas tanto daño. No ves que no soy tan fuerte. Me manejas como ciego de quererme. Está muriendo mi corazón. Mi corazón. Thank you.
Oh, here, let's throw this back over that way, the right way. Great job.
Thank
How
you.
difficult is it to perform? You've been performing virtually now, obviously, for about a year. How difficult has that been when you're not able to be in person with your whole thing?
Well, you know, the way I started this, I've been doing this already for 5 years. It's something that is not new for me doing
Mhm.
this because I do a lot of this Facebook Live singing for my fans. So it's been since I started. This is how I started singing live here, and this is how I ventured out into getting to know who I am. You know, this past year I was busy. I didn't just stay put in one spot. You know, even though I was in quarantine, thank God, away from all of that of the COVID thing, I was still working. You know, I'm independent, so I was able to. I managed to release my second album last year in December. It took me all year, but you know, I did it, and
But you did.
so I just kept on top of the feed. You know, I just stay with current with my fans. I would come in here, I would sing once a week, maybe sometimes twice a week, and just to keep relevant on here. So I mean, it's nothing new to me. I'm kind of used to it already.
You how long have you been singing?
It's only, well, professionally now it's only 5 years, going on 5 years.
Only
I've
5
never
years.
done this before. I don't come from music. It's just something that I've been wanting to do all my life, and I finally decided 5 years ago, or almost 5 years ago, to jump on it. And you know, I've been kind of going through the motions and knocking and opening doors here and there. You know, so this is how I've done it.
Yeah, I want to talk about being an independent artist and what that means. Because you're you're releasing albums, you're touring, you're always performing somewhere. So what does that mean to be an independent artist, and what do you have to do to keep yourself going and to keep the music coming?
You know, to be an independent, being an independent artist, in my case, I am not signed with any label. Everything that happens with the music, it's out of pocket. I
Mm-hmm.
have to hustle it myself. And I call it hustle because it is. I
Yeah.
do bake in order for me to continue my music. So I'm very appreciative of everybody who purchases my baked goods. Um, Being independent is I get to do basically anything that I want, break all the rules that I want on the music in the music. I don't have anybody telling me, "Oh, no, you can't do that." Uh, I want to do this, I'm gonna do it because I'm not signed by anybody that's I don't have anybody guiding my career but myself. So I'm kind of doing it the best way I know how, and the best way that I feel it should be going. I don't want to be traditional like everybody else. And I think I've done a really good job at keeping it out of the box, like they say, and going around everything the traditional way. You know, the band thing, the don't do this, don't do that. I'm completely doing it different from everybody out there, but I still managed to be on the charts. I still managed to get nominated. I still managed to get hired. You know, so it's to me it's a blessing because I get to express myself as a business person, as a businesswoman, do really basically the ideas that pop into my head. You know, put them to work and make them a reality.
Yeah, as long as
And
you can figure out
nobody,
how to do it, you can do it. That's
yeah,
what's fun, right? And I
Yes.
mean, as an independent artist, you've won multiple awards. You were voted San Antonio Magazine's Best of the City Musician or Band for 2021. Like, how does that feel for someone, as you say, like, you haven't been doing it a long time, it's only been 5 years, and look how far
You
you've
know,
come.
I know that's, to me, it's it still hasn't dawned on me like any of these nominations, any of these awards. I'm just doing my thing, and I really do appreciate the fact that people out there are paying attention. And in their eyes, I'm the best of San Antonio 2021, and I'm blessed, to be able to hold that title for this year. It's something that I never expected, because there is a lot of great talent out there. So putting me to be the best of the city of San Antonio, it's an honor. Thank
Yeah.
you.
What has the response been from your fans and your listeners to your music?
I'm very happy that when I wanted to do this, I just wanted to come in here, write my own song, put it on the radio, perform it, and record it myself, put it on the radio, and I was done. So to me, it's been a blessing because it was accepted. My first song is Mejor Decir Adios, which I have a music video, by the way. I invite you to go check it out. It's on my YouTube channel, Liz Garcia Music. Liz Garcia La Cantante Music. To me, it's been like every song that I basically put out, it's becoming one of the public's favorites. So I'm very, very happy that they accept and they embrace my music, my voice. So pretty much every song that I put out, it's in their liking. So I'm very,
That's
very happy
great.
for that.
And you're working on your third album?
Yes, I'm currently working on that. I was gonna rush and try to do it again like last year. It was so stressful because I stress myself. I am independent. I'm the boss. So I wanted to do the CD or release the album before the year ended. I mean, I managed to do it, but it was very stressful for me, monetarily, and of course, getting everything, the registrations, the copyrights, um, everything. I do everything by
Yeah.
myself, so it was very stressful. So I don't know about this year releasing it. I wanted to release it by the end of the year, the third album, but I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna kind of work on it and see how it all goes. And if it comes out this year, good. If not, until next year.
It'll happen when it's supposed to happen. That's what I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Liz was super nice and gave us a copy of each of her first two albums to give away to someone. Now, if you're watching on Apple TV or Roku or all the other fun places you can now watch this program, jump over to our Facebook page at Rich Wilmore Show. Like the show, share the show, do anything but give it a thumbs down, and you get put in our crown of giveaways. These are all the people that have done all of that all season, and you get to win stuff. Liz, are we picking one for each, or are we picking one winner that wins both?
One for each. That way you have two
Okay.
people.
All right, awesome. Let me pick someone.
So the first one will be the Había una vez, the first album.
And it is Jeff Ryder.
All right,
Jeff Ryder
congratulations.
is the first winner.
Awesome. Yes, you
And
get
then
the CD, my first album, my baby.
Yes, the baby album. And
Yes.
the second album, can you show that?
Yes, second album is Una Estrella. This is my more mature of an album. This is
And
a sibling.
the winner is Michelle Rivera.
Awesome, Michelle.
Two winners to
Congratulations.
start the show off. So make sure you go to
Yeah.
Facebook and do all that because you can win free stuff. Why not? Why would you not?
Exactly.
Will you come back when you do the third album?
Most definitely. I was very happy that you gave me the opportunity to be on your show the first time, and I'm very happy to be here. Definitely, just invite me. I'll be back.
Fun story, when Liz was on our show the first time, we were filming in front of an audience, and we had a sponsor for all of our sound and our mic equipment, and we had them on the program. It was Fondest, who is a sustainable clothing company, and they were sponsoring all of our microphones and all of that stuff. And that day, all of the sound went down on the day that our sponsor was on. It had nothing to do with them, and Fondness is great, so that's amazing. But that's what happened that day, and we had to use Liz's sound equipment to film our show. So I thank you for that. Liz Garcia, everyone, thank you very much for being here this morning.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations.
Thank you very
it only
much.
gets better from here. It's just move on up, just keep going, and don't give up, and dreams do come true. I'm a proof of that, so definitely keep at it.
This is true. I've been crying about this show all morning, so don't make me cry now. We're going to take a break instead while I catch my breath, and we'll be right back with Paul Tinder, everyone.
Thank
Fruze
you.
Balls. Funny name, serious plant power. Healthy, whole food goodness in one single bite. Wineria SA. Let's enjoy some great vino together. Let's do a virtual wine tasting, enjoy exclusive artisan wines, and join the club. Neon Castaway. Handmade accessories for a colorful life. Teenus. Handcrafted, farm to cup, organic, quality. The Classic Theater, creating excellent theater in San Antonio, Texas that is relevant, diverse, entertaining, and transformative. We are back, everyone, with Paul Tinder and also a cat that is definitely 100% meowing underneath me. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm super. How are you?
I'm good. Congratulations, too.
Well, thank you very much. Paul is the founder of the Performing Arts San Antonio. Tell everybody about Performing Arts San Antonio.
Well, it's a theater that we formed and opened in 2010. We're an award-winning theater, and we've been producing a season of shows. And it's like I sent you on the email, we're sort of at an interesting time right now after COVID hit, trying to take a look and see what the arts looks like in the future. And what we found out is that our original vision for this was to be a co-op theater on the north side of San Antonio. And in order to do that, to have be a space that other producers, other companies can work in, so it becomes that true co-op as opposed to just our theater. And that's really what we're sort of trying to move towards again, because the cost of having a theater, rental and everything else, it gets very restrictive. So if you get a space that a lot of people are working in, it makes it much more viable for everybody and provides everybody a great venue to produce in.
You are, you've been an actor for many years in TV and commercials, and you've directed, you've produced. Why did you come to San Antonio to do theater?
Well, we didn't come to San Antonio to do theater. What we did is we came to San Antonio. Basically, we have two girls, and we were living in California. We were doing a huge amount of work. And out there, they have what's called social promotion. So whether students know the classes and lessons and everything, they're promoted anyway. So we wanted a better educational system for the girls, which is why we came here. And then it just sort of evolved. We reached out to some different people, sort of didn't work out to be able to working with them. So we started our own facility.
How did you get in?
It wasn't planned, but we're here.
Of course, it always works how it's supposed to work, right?
Absolutely.
How did you get into the entertainment industry?
I was 28 when I got into the industry, and I got in by accident. I used to, when I was young, I used to look pretty good. So
you don't look bad now. Calm down.
Well, I got a ponytail now. That's my rebellion against 2020. But I used to look pretty good, and I actually sent some modeling pictures to what I thought was an agent acting teacher. His name was Francis Lederer. He was an international movie star, and he had a studio in North Hollywood. So he sent me a scene back to memorize, and I memorized it, went in, and he put me in a professional actors class. And it went from a kick in the tail to an avocation to where I left everything else to pursue it. And we have been very, very fortunate and very blessed to be what are called working actors. Mm-hmm. That we've been able to make our living in the industry for a lot of years in New York and Hollywood. And now here with the theater here and the new program that we're going to be launching hopefully by the 1st of June.
Wow. And then, so how can people contact you if they want to be involved with what's happening?
performingartssa.org or the performingartssa@gmail.com. We're trying to take a look now. All of our current classes are totally full. We actually produced 6 productions during COVID. We found a way to do it in a way that's really, really safe and to keep everybody safe. We've had no issues, knock on wood. And what we did is we filmed them all and we streamed them. So the students end up with video on their work that they can use for demo reels. But again, it continues to keep the theater, continues to keep the industry moving forward. So we just finished Les Miserables with a teen class, which was really great. And we're strange human beings. because we're in a theater, but we have all this experience. I myself have starred in over 400 episodes of TV shows in New York and LA. We have 2 films with Lionsgate. I can go on, I won't. But what they get here is the same training they would get in New York and LA. And that's what's really sort of set us apart and opened doors for us. A lot of the people that work with us don't stay in the community. They work with us and then go pursue their dreams. And that's really what the focus is. If you want to do community theater, it's great community theater that we want to do and have you be a part of. If your dream is bigger than that, you know, you have to have the skill sets required in order to pursue that dream. And that's really where we come from, because that's what our background is.
Yeah. You've been in the game for a little while.
Yeah.
Has this last year been the most change in the industry, or what have you or is this just sort of a blimp in how we're producing, or what have you seen since you've began?
Well, the main change is the way that auditions are run. Production will always be production, and production will do what production has to do. But it's the audition process. It used to be that you could be in a room with someone, and with that, they can feel your energy. You can make a human connection with someone. Now, with self-tape auditions, what you have to do is you have to be able to create that same relationship, that same energy with somebody when you're sitting in a box. And when you're sitting in the box, the character's not in the box, only the actor is. So casting directors have learned that they can still do their job, but they don't have to have the overhead of having a large studio. They don't have to have any of that expense. They do it all now online. So it's hard. There's more opportunities for people to be seen through all the different casting sites. But the difficulty is there are so many people that are being seen, you get lost in the shuffle of all these videos coming in. The truth of the matter is, with self-tape auditions, you have about 4 to 10 seconds to be able to get that casting director to determine that you are competitive for that part, you're right for that part, and watch the rest of your audition.
Wow.
If you don't have them within that 10 seconds, they move on to the next audition. So how do you take that reality and create what is required for the casting director to see, that the casting director wants to put you in front of a director, and then have the director determine if he wants to have you for a callback? It's much more impersonal now than it used to be. The good side of it is you have more opportunities. If you tape an audition and you don't like it, you can retape it. And you retape and retape until you get one sort of that you like. The difficulty is that they can't feel you. You don't have the ability to walk into a room and live a moment as the character and have them feel. There was a casting director, I won't say a name. He was the vice president of casting at Universal. And then he went on to be a very, very effective manager for talent out in LA. And I had an audition for him, or with him. I froze. There we go. We're back. I had an audition with him, and the character needed to back him across the room into a wall, because that's what the character was doing to the other character in the scene. So I backed him across the room into a wall. Didn't touch him, didn't hurt him, but at the same time, that's what was required in the moment. Got the job. But you had that ability to work and to be felt in a room. Now you don't have it.
Yeah, it's tough. Even this, like the connection. If you and I were, just sitting next to someone talking to them is so different than this.
Absolutely.
It's something that is truly missed. What then do you have any, a couple tips for people that are filming self-auditions?
You have to answer that. Okay, there's 2 things that are quick little tips. In acting, what you have to do is you have to create the reality of place. All right. So you might be in the room in front of a camera, but the character's in the scene, in the place where the scene takes place. So how do you create that place is a really, really big thing. And that's what casting directors really look for. And the other thing is the tendency as an actor is you want to answer a specific question, which is, how do I say the line? That always interprets it from your perspective. and from your understanding rather than actually creating what is required by the character in that moment. So it's not how do you say the lines, but how do you want to use the lines to affect the other character? That's where character is created. Character is created by the actions you take, not the words you say. So that's the essence. I mean, if there's two little nuggets that you walk away with, those are the two nuggets. But that's what allows you to be competitive. We were so blessed. Gary Marshall was my mentor as a producer director. We worked with some of the same people, with Sandy Meisner that formed the Neighborhood Playhouse, Herbert Berghoff in New York, Uta Hagen. I mean, we worked with incredible people, and they beat the pee out of us. Because they refuse to allow us to settle for being okay. Strive for excellence, and if you fall short, you're really good. Yeah. Strive for being good, and you fall short, you're average. Like, do you have time? I'll tell you a very specific story, if you have a second.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Warren Robertson was an incredible teacher in New York. Warren was called the coach of the decade in New York, and we were blessed to be able to be accepted into his class. Patrick Swayze, after he did Dirty Dancing, studied with Warren, and he said, for the first time, I understood what it meant to work organically. But I was doing a scene. I was on stage, and Warren was sitting there, and I said, it was a Shakespearean piece. And I said the first line, and Warren said, stop, start again. I said, so I stopped and I started again. This happened 10 times. And he finally got me so angry that I jumped off the stage to go hit him in the mouth. And then when I jumped off the stage, he said, now do the scene. But you see, that's this truth that you have to have. That's the truth that you have to pursue this dream. If your dream is to be the best community actor that you can be the best community actor. If your dream's bigger than that, you have to compete at that level.
That's great advice. It's like what's the line of like, dress for the job you want, right?
Right.
Paul has been in over 500 episodes of TV and clearly has a history that we could be here for days talking about everything he has done. And he'll come back, I hope, and talk about all of it. But I wanted to throw out some shows that you've been on because, I like gossip. And,
okay.
And I just want some of my favorites, and then I want to hear like if you have stories from your time on those shows. So I want to start with everybody's favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Yep.
Days of Our Lives I was on 4 times. When I first got into industry, an acting teacher that I had said, Days of Our Lives is looking for extras. So what the heck? I look all right. I'll send a picture in. So I sent a picture and started. Then they called me back in to do some small parts, then a larger part, and then a larger part after that. And then I got a call. There was a actor, Robert Woods, that we were friends in New York. He was on One Life to Live when we were on Another World. And Robert walked in his contract. It was mutually agreeable, but I got a call at 6 p.m. at night that they wanted me to come in and take the character off the show. So I got a script that had about 20 pages of dialogue at 6 p.m. to be on the set the next morning at 8 p.m. ready to film.
Wow.
Yeah. On Another World, I did 158 episodes of Another World. And I had a storyline that for 7 months, I worked 5 days a week, and I had somewhere between 20, 25 pages of new dialogue every day, 5 days a week for 7 months.
I went to college to be a theater actor, and then I realized very quickly, well, I really just I thought, this is your brain when you're like 17. I'm going to go get a theater degree, and then I'm going to be famous, and then I'm going to have a talk show. Like, that's what I wanted. I never wanted to be a theater actor. I wanted to be a talk show host. And then as I'm in classes, I'm thinking, oh, I should not be doing this. This is a lot of memorizing. And also, I was always afraid to do it live because I didn't want to screw it up for someone else. Like, I didn't want to make the other people on stage look bad. This way, it's just me hanging out here. And then hopefully I don't make you look like an idiot. That's the goal. What about my mom's favorite show, Knots Landing?
I did a recurring role on that. The interesting thing about that role, my wife was giving birth to our first daughter, and we were in the hospital and went through all the breathing exercises, everything. So I'm getting there trying to coach her and stuff, and my agent called and said, you got an audition. And I said, I am in the delivery room.
Busy.
Yeah, but you got an audition. They want you. They want to see you. So I asked my wife, okay, can I go? She said, yeah, okay. So I went from there straight to Lorimar. They let me in right away to do the audition. I left to go back to the delivery room. By the time I got back to the delivery room, we had passed the point she wanted to hear anything about breathing and just said, shut up, just hold my hand. But I got that part. I don't know whether they gave it to me because I was incredible or they just felt sorry that I left the labor room. But I did, I think about 6 or 7 episodes of that. And there was a character with family issues, not that that ever happens in TV, and that I was his attorney, sort of taking him to task for. Yeah.
Are you at the point now in your career where you don't pinch yourself and that it's just real life, it's your life, or do you ever think, wow, like, I can't believe this is my life?
Well, I'm going to answer that in a very weird way. When Snowmageddon hit, we have a desk upstairs that we hadn't really dug into that desk since we moved into the house that we live in. So I went into the desk and we start pulling things out, and I found all this VHS tape. And I found 3/4-inch tapes that were in the back of this desk from shows that I'd starred in. I did 2 Bob Hope specials, and I found the video where I'm ad-libbing on live TV with Bob Hope.
Wow.
So what I've done for this new website that we're building, I've digitized all that, and we're going to have these video galleries. And as I look back through that, I am so incredibly grateful to the people that invested their time and energy into us, that allowed us to pursue the dream that we pursued and become successful at it. But it's also this passion that I want to continue to pass that on to the students that we work with. You know, is the dream, there's a reality about the entertainment industry, and you have to come to grips with it. They don't need you, right? There's more than enough actors to do every part that will ever be written as long as there is an entertainment industry. So if they don't need you, what do you have to do to make them want you? And that's the focus of the class. That's the focus of how you approach acting, to give the people those skills that when you walk in, they see value in you and they want you.
I feel like I need to write that down. I'm gonna take that clip and put it on Instagram and for everybody, so everybody can hear that, because that's perfect. I know we've been trying to plan this appearance for a very long time. We've been going back and forth, and I'm so glad that you were able to jump on today and hang out with me on our first day on Apple TV and Roku and all the fun things. It'll be on iTunes. It'll be on everything. So I'm glad that today was the day you were able to be on. And
I appreciate it.
Paul Tinder, ladies and gentlemen, please come back anytime and tell us more stories, will you?
We'll tell you more about this new thing that we're doing, also the actors track.
Yes. We have like 2 minutes if you want to talk about it.
One of the things that my wife and I have sort of taken a look at is the fact that this is going to sound very arrogant, and I don't mean it to sound arrogant, but there's a lot of people that are teaching acting classes that are online that don't have a lot of professional experience. I've had people find me from England and Australia, from English-speaking countries all over Canada. I've got people that are teaching in Germany that are following. And so what we thought is, how can we sort of expand this out from just being regional and share this experience that we have and the way that we were trained with people that don't necessarily have that available on a local basis. So that's going to be the actors track. And that hopefully will have that. The website's being built now. It's about half done, but we've got to get all this video up on it and everything else. So that's really exciting for us, to be able to sort of reach beyond just local into a place where, you know, can you tell me where somebody doesn't have a dream?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you've got a dream, what is it you have to know to go after that dream and fulfill the dream? And just because you're in a small community doesn't mean your dream's not valid. It doesn't mean you have every right to pursue it, but it just means you have more difficulty trying to get the training that you need in order to pursue that. That's what we're trying to do with this, just reach way beyond. And we filmed a whole bunch of stuff, filmed classes, and doing some more filming in my green shirt.
And Paul so nicely is going to give away an acting class, which I'm assuming is virtual. So the person who needs it will hopefully find it and win it. And check our social media at Rich Wilmore Show to figure out how to win that, because we would pick out of here, but if they don't want an acting class, then it's a waste.
I know, right? Just go on there and do it. If you're in a different area, we'll do it on Zoom, and we'll challenge you with it. We'll work on a monologue and give you some really professional tips in how you prepare that. If you're in the region and you want to do it in person live, we'll do it in person live.
All right. Thank you, Paul, very much.
It's my pleasure. Thanks, and again, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Please come back anytime.
Whenever you can have me.
All right. We will be right back with Wendy Wilson Spooner, everyone.
Lick Honest Ice Creams. Know what you're licking, y'all. Made in Austin, Texas since 2011. Unique flavors inspired by what's in season locally. Go Vegan San Antonio, a vegan comfort food truck located at the Block in San Antonio. Rebel Designs, handcrafted sterling silver jewelry designed by Shelley, inspired by nature. The right fit, style, makeup, and fitness, taking the stress out of getting dressed.
She is a professional genetic genealogist. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay, during the day. She's a writer at night, and she's an artist in between. This is Wendy Wilson Spooner. Good morning.
Hi, Richard. So happy to be on your show. I love it.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy that you are on. We tried to have you on, about a month ago, and I love technology. You were having some problems, so we had to rebook you.
Yes.
But I'm glad it's working out and your internet's working today.
Yes, hooray.
Yes. So tell me about, first of all, I want to talk about you being an artist before we get into your books, because that's your books are why you're here. But I love people who are artistic in many different ways.
Okay. Yes, I think that art, or being able to create art, was the one thing I can say I was born with. You know how we have talents that we develop, or we just have a propensity for maybe one thing that we just feel like we came to this earth with. Creating art for me is that one thing.
And we all create art when we're little and we don't even know it. When we're writing on the walls and we're taking food and smashing it around. Like that's all such, and then we kind of stopped doing that. Most of us. You kept doing it, which is great, but a lot of people stopped doing it.
Yes, so true. And over the years, I painted many different themes, and most of them were to capture a moment in my life that I really enjoyed or that I loved. And so I have a really, really, really busy schedule, but a fellow author of mine asked me to be her illustrator for this beautiful children's story that she had written. And that's something that's been in the back of my mind for decades, was to illustrate a children's book. And so we have one that just released. It released so recently that I still have the author copy. Wow. I don't even have my real copy yet.
It just came out last month, yes?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, and it's such a beautiful book, and it's about a little boy who's very sick and he's had a tracheotomy. But the underlying theme of this book for kids is there's a lot of hard things that you experience as a child, and it's about finding what's going to make you happy, or finding that rainbow within the hard thing, because it is always there.
It's so true.
Yeah.
What was it like to be able to illustrate an entire book?
It was wonderful. It's time consuming because you first have to plan the placement of the pictures and what is going to be in each picture, the composition. And then you have to make sure that the composition looks good and feels good on the pages. And then how is it going to work with the text? And who am I going to use as my models for the book? And this I used my grandson, Liam. So he was my model as this little boy. And I also used my granddaughter, Hallie, for a couple of these pictures. And so this is Liam and this is Hallie in this picture. But yeah, and so the book, consecutively starts out with monochrome blue. And then it goes through each color of the rainbow.
Oh, wow.
Through each stage of what this little boy is dealing with, because he's got a tracheotomy and he can't do all the things he used to love to do. And then he goes outside one day and the sun comes out after it's been raining. And he decides, I'm going to eat this rainbow and it's not going to hurt me. Like all the foods that he's been eating have really hurt his throat. And then it just goes on. There's all these wonderful questions in the back of the book that are so thought-provoking for children about how do you find happiness when you're going through a hard thing. It's a lovely book.
I love that. Did working on that book change the way you write?
No, because I write a very different genre, although there are several children's books that I do want to write. This is, it didn't affect my own writing. My own writing is historical fiction, and it's based on juicy history and truth and how that truth affects us today.
When did you start writing?
I started writing, I've written my whole life. And as a teenager, I kept a detailed journal from the time I was 13 until I was about 20. And I've always written. When I was a small child, I wrote stories and then I would draw the pictures that would go with those stories. But I unearthed such wonderful stories as a professional genetic genealogist. I have truckloads of stories that I could be writing every day of my life for probably all eternity, because everybody's family tree is filled with incredible stories. Even if they really struggled, even if they were in prison, even if they made really poor choices, their stories are still wonderful in the way they can affect us to stand on our ancestors' shoulders and honor them and try to become someone even better because of what we learned from them.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has a story, and even if you think your story isn't that grand or as good as someone else's, like, it still is worth expressing and talking about and sharing, because you never know who else has a similar story that needs connection like that.
Exactly. And a lot of us like a happy ending, and often you can find at least a few happy small endings, even within a very broad tragic story. And those little victories matter everywhere, in every step of our lives and our ancestors' lives. The small victories really matter, even if the overall ending wasn't immensely happy.
Yeah. Can you talk about your first book, Once Upon an Irish Summer?
Yes, I will. Here it is. It released in April 2020. So all of the book signings and all of the events that I had planned around that launch, I'm traditionally published by Ambassador International. All of those things were canceled. So I started doing live readings on Facebook, and I found different ways. Hi, Kat. I love your cat.
I have multiple co-hosts, and they randomly come in and out.
I love that. And yeah, so it was just kind of figuring out. I did a book signing. I actually did a couple book signings that were drive-through book signings and that were socially distanced and compliant with the CDC guidelines for COVID and all of those things that I had to figure out. But even with all of that, this book was a #1 best-selling release in several different genres.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What does it feel like to write your first book and have it released and out there and you have no control over it anymore? Is that scary? Is that exciting? Is it both?
It's exciting because what I found is whatever story you have to write, as long as you're passionate about it, the right people are going to read it and it's going to affect them. Mm-hmm. So, yep, it's out there, and the sequel's almost done, which should release in the fall. And this book is based on the true story of a teenager who left Ireland in 1817 to find a way to save his family in America. So this book is about the American dream. It's about why people have come to this country for decades. And even though we're in some troubling times, this still is the freest country in the world, full of the most opportunity for people. And that is why we have people streaming over our borders at this very time.
You have the book coming out in the fall. What else are you working on? Anything? Or are you just finishing up the book?
I am finishing that book, and then I will decide which story I'm going to write next.
That's so exciting. I hope you come back for that. Wendy, we have a show full of giveaways. You're also giving away an ebook to someone today, yes?
Yes, actually, I'm giving away an ebook of this book. And then we are also giving away an ebook of this book.
Oh my gosh. Are we giving to the same person, or do you also want 2 people to win?
Let's do 2 people.
All right, here we go. Again, go to Facebook and find this show, like it, share it, give it a thumbs up, heart it, do whatever. Just don't give it a thumbs down, and then you win stuff. That's the point of this whole show. All right, first winner is Ryan Ortiz. You win a book.
Wonderful.
Which book do you want to give him, Wendy? Which book?
Ryan Ortiz. My gut is telling me this one.
All right, you win Eating
Rainbows.
Yes. All right, and then the next one is Jana Drew.
Wonderful.
You win Once Upon an Irish Summer. Congratulations. How can people best support you, Wendy?
They can go to my website, wendywilsonspooner.com, or they can go like my Facebook page, which is author Wendy Wilson Spooner. You can follow me on Instagram, and those are the best places.
All the things. Perfect. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Richard. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Anytime. Come back when the third book comes out.
I will.
When the second book comes out.
Wonderful.
Bye, Wendy. We'll be right back after this. All right, that's our show, everyone. Hey, if you enjoy the program, and there's a lot more coming, so get excited, and you can become a coffee sponsor. This whole thing is done just me hanging out in the corner of my bedroom right now. And we're moving on to bigger and better things. We're moving into a studio, and like I said, we'll be on... we're now live on Apple TV, Roku, we're on Amazon Fire Stick, iTunes, all the places. So make sure you're watching us, and thank you for watching us. And if you'd like to support the show, please become a coffee sponsor. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/Rich Wilmore Show and buy me a coffee. That's all I drink out of a Richard Wilmore Show mug. There you go. All right, this show, I have wanted to be a talk show host since 1997. I was at home on summer vacation and flipping through the channels. I was in, 7th grade or whatever, and 8th grade. And I came across a rerun of The Rosie O'Donnell Show. And I saw how much fun she was having, and I saw how much fun the audience was having, and what a difference she was making in people's lives. And I thought, I want to do that. And I started pretending to be a talk show host in my bedroom. And I began this show, The Richard Wilmore Show, in August of 2016, and we've had over 100 episodes, 130 episodes, a gazillion guests, and it has been a ride. But I just want to show you. So I don't know if you all remember Rosie's show, but she had the band leader. She had an entire band in the corner. John McDaniel was her band leader. He's a Tony Award winner. He's a huge Broadway producer. He was on my show, the first show of this season. Our 4th season is what we're in. And I didn't show him this because I didn't want to scare him, but dream guest, Rosie O'Donnell. And now I feel like we're on all of the platforms that she could 100% find us on. And so I wanted to show you, every week I'm going to show you something to get her on this show. And someone watching will know her and figure it out. This is a scrapbook that I had. Oh, you can't see it, but it's called the Rosie O Wall. And when I was a kid, I collected every magazine she was in, and I hung all of her photos on my bedroom wall. Here's some that just fell out. Look, my entire wall in my bedroom were covered in pictures of Rosie O'Donnell. That is my closet curtain that I did, and I painted just like her curtain on her show, and the entire room was full of, look, that's insane. I'll put some of these on Instagram and on social media so you can see what this was. But this was my bedroom. And it turned out, back then, those were the days of like Yahoo chat rooms, and there were hundreds of kids around the country who would go into these chat rooms and had rooms like I had. And she gave a space where, even though she wasn't out, she had a connection with a lot of little kids around the country, and changed my life, and in many ways saved my life. So I want to thank her, and she may or may not ever see this. She will see this. I swear she will see this. But this show is a complete ripoff of her show, and I'm so thankful for everybody who supports the show, who watches the show, who comes on as a guest, whether they know me or don't know me, and just go, sure, I'll go hang out with that random guy that DM'd me on Instagram to see if I would be on his show. So thank you all for watching. We will see you next week live, because I have a live morning talk show now. So get ready. All right, everyone. Have a great week. I love you all. We will see you next week. Take care, everyone.
It's the Richard Wilmore Show.